Hey guys, welcome back to Duck Ponds Farm. It's been a little while since I got a video out, so how about we go for a walk and we'll see what all the critters are up to. They say if you have under 10 chickens, then you don't have a chicken addiction problem, which is good because now that I've added 5 more to my 2 original ones, I'm still safe. So these are our chickens that we hatched out about 4 weeks ago. We've had them out in this little outdoor pen for probably a couple of weeks now. We just move it every day. We have this little plywood box that we put in at night that has the heat lamp and everything in, and they just go in under there. We've had no issues at all from the cold, but it's time for these guys to go and be introduced to the rest of the flock. We'll move the whole pen and everything down in with the adults. That'll give the chickens and the adults a chance to interact a bit for probably 3 or 4 days without the chickens actually being harassed. So after 3 or 4 days we'll come down at night and we'll catch the chickens and put them straight into the chook house, and they can just let themselves all out in the morning and we'll see how they go. Hopefully they'll get along. So they're all set up down here now, in with the other chickens. The roosters sort of checking them out from a distance. Once I leave they'll come over and try and put them in their place, but they won't be able to do anything about it because they're inside their little cage. Just doing it this way, we think lets the adult chooks get a little bit of their aggression out before we actually put the chickens in. Otherwise, some of the chickens can get hammered pretty hard. So the chickens have spent their first couple of days here in with the rest of the adult hens. Everyone's getting along really well. We're really happy with how they've gone. They get an occasional peck from the other hens, but that's just normal for chickens. I'd say for the next couple of nights we'll have to do a roundup down here and collect all the little ones up and put them up into the chook house, because they won't really associate that as their home straight away, I don't think. But hopefully it'll only take a few nights and they'll know to put themselves to bed. It's a little bit frosty down here this morning, but we've moved the chook house and their little enclosure. We've moved that onto the first spot that the sheep were in. So sort of the first stage in our rotational grazing, I suppose you'd say. The dirt down here is pretty poor. It's pretty hard, pretty gravelly. You can see there's a few bare patches, mainly just behind me here. The hope is that if we can rotate the sheep and the chickens over that enough times, get enough manure dropped on it, then we should be able to improve the soil, especially in this part. As you move up the hill, it gets better, and over on the flat between the house and the dam is pretty good soil. But we really want to work on improving what we've got here. After they've spent 3 or 4 days in here, scratching up what they can, we'll move them up this direction here. Not sure if you can see the sheep up there in the distance. They're probably 4 or 5 paddocks ahead of the chickens, and the sheep will continue to move up that hill and the chickens will move along behind them. One of the other lessons that we learnt this week is that I've designed the little sheep paddocks wrong. What we've got a little enclosure up the top here that's got their water and a bit of a shelter so they can get out of the rain, out of the sun if they want to. And then we've just got this laneway, and we're just branching little paddocks off the side. They'll stay in each paddock for a few days and then we'll move them to the next. And what I did is I've just got the little paddock here. Don't mind the timber in the middle. We've just got these little square paddocks with a gateway in the corner, and then you can see there's another one right beside it. This one's opened up, but it was set up the same with the little gateway down the bottom corner. The problem with that is that the sheep have to actually walk away from their enclosure to the bottom corner to get to the gate. Apparently most sheep aren't smart enough to work that out. If they want to go to the enclosure, that's the direction they walk. They won't walk away from where they want to go. So we've got one sheep that could work it out. She had no issue with walking down to the gate and walking up the laneway. Sometimes a couple would go with her, but what you'd end up with is 2 sheep heading up the laneway, 2 sheep on this side of the fence walking towards the enclosure, and they'd get stuck in this top corner and they couldn't go any further. And no matter how long you left it, they could not work out that they had to go backwards to get to the gate to go up there. So I need to pull down what we've got and make sure that the gate is in this top corner, and that'll solve that little problem. So once we put that gate in that corner, they'll just be able to walk straight up, and then each paddock will have to have the gate on the side closest to their enclosure. Eventually we want to get rid of this laneway idea. This is only because we're not really set up to move their enclosure. I've got their water on a trailer. Eventually I'd like to have just a fold out roof off the side, and that'll be their shelter, and the trailer and everything will just get moved from paddock to paddock with them, and we won't need this laneway anymore. This one here, this is the one sheep that was smart enough to work out how to get out of the paddocks. She seems to be the first one to take to anything new. She's the most inquisitive and probably, I think, the smartest out of the lot. We've named her Matilda, and I'm pretty sure you'll see more of her as time goes on. Try and sneak up on our pigs. Our pigs are getting really big. The boy he's getting really big. The girl's still a fair way behind, but that's something we've learnt since we've got them, that the males always grow a fair bit quicker than the females. And unfortunately, when we bought them, the female was already a fair bit smaller than the male, so she's never ever going to catch him up, which may complicate things when we go to butcher them, so I'm not sure how we're going to handle that just yet. Still really happy with how they're clearing everything out. I'm surprised they haven't come running down. As soon as they hear you, they usually come down to see what you're up to. Here they come. Hey. Hey. Getting a bit of size about him now. Ham. Bacon. I'd love to show you a bit more of what we've been doing around here, but I got to keep getting the boat ready. As while the weather's good, we're going fishing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like our video, leave us a comment, share us around, and thanks for following us.